Second is succulent plants. You can't kill a succulent plant. Hi everyone. So today I want to talk about slow living hobbies. I am a person who loves hobbies. I love a good hobby. I am also a person who has embraced and I have enjoyed a slow living lifestyle. So I thought that I would create a video and combine the two worlds. So today I want to talk about 5 slow living hobbies that you could currently do right now to bring you inner peace and joy and be more mindful in your life. Slow living is about intention and spending time on things that are important and less on things that aren't. So grab a comfy seat, take a deep breath, and let's dive in. Okay, so first up is urban gardening, and I love this slow living hobby because you don't really need a big backyard. All you really need is a windowsill or a balcony, and you can start small with one plant and then see how that goes, and then you can invest more time and more money into gardening and have an oasis of plants, you know, eventually. So I have here, I bought this plant from Trader Joe's. It's a basil plant. This basil plant is pretty high maintenance. I have to water it every day. I went to my parents' house and I got this pot, and I planted it. I have to purchase more dirt, but the reason why I like this hobby is because it's tactile. So you can purchase all of the products that you need. You can come back home and you can put your hands in the dirt and play in the dirt, and then take the plant out and feel its roots, and then repot it in a really nice pot. And then once it's in its new home, you can sit it out on your balcony or on a windowsill and watch it grow. So here are some thoughtful product choices you could try around urban gardening. So the first up is indoor herb gardening kit. So I'm just looking at my notes because I've written a couple notes around urban gardening. So the first up would be a indoor herb gardening kit, and I love this because I'm assuming that you can, I've actually never tried this, but I would love to try this. I'm assuming you get to pick out the herbs, and then once you get this kit, you plant your herbs, and then you can place the herbs in your kitchen, and then you water them and you watch them grow, and then you can use the herbs in your meals. And I think that's awesome. So it's like you're bringing nature inside of your apartment. And so, yeah, I think that's a great kit to start, your urban gardening with. Next is succulent plants. So succulent plants, say that fast 3 times. They're small, they're low maintenance, they're aesthetically pleasing. You can put them anywhere because they are tiny and small. The succulent plants that I've seen are varieties of colors, and they're great for apartment living, and they are great for just kind of starting off your urban planting journey. Okay, next is, how about you try to use a fabric pot? Have you ever seen a fabric pot? Have you ever heard of a fabric pot? Fabric pots are great because they're lightweight, they're small, they're great for apartment living. They're not big and they're not bulky. You can transfer your small plant into a small fabric pot, and it does the same as, one of those ceramic pots. So yeah, I think it would be great to try a fabric pot. And then how about you try to use vertical gardening? Yep. So wall planters, they're really popular, especially in small spaces and apartment living. Utilizing vertical spaces by hanging planters on your wall. There's nothing better than walking into a space and seeing this vast array of plants hanging on the wall. It's bringing nature inside of your apartment. So, and then you're utilizing vertical space. Last but not least, like I said at the beginning of this video, windowsill gardening is always the way to go. I have my plants on the windowsill, and because they're on the windowsill and I look out of the window, I see the plants all the time, so it reminds me to water them. And windowsills are perfect for herbs and smaller plants. Next, we have a classic slow living hobby, reading. I think when personally for me, when my life gets really, really busy, I forget about reading. I tend to, I'm going to my 9 to 5, or I'm socializing with my friends, or I have 2 cats, or I'm taking care of my cats and things like that. Reading, is the last thing I'm thinking about. But there is nothing better than picking out a book, going to, your local library or a bookstore and picking out a really interesting or fascinating book, or a book that you're curious about, bringing it home, and then putting on your comfy clothes, getting your cozy blankets, and then sitting on your couch or wherever, your sofa or wherever that your space is, and then just curling up with your blanket and just reading your book for hours and hours and hours. There is something magical about that experience, and I feel like that experience can be lost because we are going 20 miles an hour and spread thin and going in different directions. So just being mindful of just like, okay, I'm going to sit down for an hour and I'm going to read 1 chapter, or I'm going to read 3 chapters, or I'm going to read this amount of pages within this hour. And I'm going to take this time for me, and I'm going to read. I'm just going to sit and read. I think there's something very mindful and very magical about that experience. And I think we should be mindful when, planning out our schedules, and like being mindful and saying, I'm going to, from 9 to 10, I'm going to read my book. Or this afternoon, after I tend to everybody else's needs, I'm going to tend to my needs and I'm going to read a book. So yeah, I think this is a great slow living hobby. It's a classic. So I am old school and I enjoy a good book in my hand, but here are a few thoughtful product choices that you could try around reading. I know a lot of people have Kindles. So Kindle Paperwhite, I actually don't own one, so I can't talk too much about it, but I know a lot of people like to read electronically or on a Kindle. So you could always, if you feel like that's a good way to get your reading in, you could always, here's my little kitty. You can always purchase a Kindle. There are book subscription boxes out there. I think this is so awesome. So you go on a website and then I guess you pick a certain number of books, or you subscribe to, I guess you buy a subscription, or you sign up for a subscription, and then I guess they send you a certain amount of books over the month. I think this is awesome because you get to stay up on the latest books, or you get to pick out the books that you're interested in, or you'll always have a flow of books coming into your life with this subscription. And so, yeah, I think that's a great way to start your slow living hobby around reading, and then continue it. And then purchasing cozy reading nook accessories. So there is nothing better than a cozy blanket, or comfy pillows, or a good reading lamp, to, outfit your cozy reading nook. Or maybe you want to decorate your space with pictures and art in your cozy space. Whatever, you can do to make your environment feel more homey is awesome. So if that leads you to reading and enjoying this hobby, that's great. All right, so hobby number 3 is thrifting. This is my favorite slow living hobby. I absolutely love thrifting, and I love to go antiquing and go to the antique stores. Not only is thrifting and antiquing budget friendly, but it's also sustainable. It's a great sustainable way to refresh your wardrobe and your home decor. I actually have been to 3 or 4 antique shops, and I have fallen in love. I really enjoy going to antique malls and just browsing around and looking around and seeing all of the amazing gems that's there that they have to offer. So our next hobby is handcrafting, or creating something, like creating a craft from our hands. And I love this because I've actually created a lot of crafts with my hands. So a couple months ago, I got into jewelry making, and I was making flower rings. I love diamond painting. I got into diamond painting, and I was making these diamond painting murals, or diamond painting paintings, I guess you could say. Now I went to Target and I purchased, this is a bath bomb kit which I absolutely love. It actually smells really good. And then I purchased this finger knitting blanket kit. And when I saw this at Target, I was like, I have to get my hands on this. It looks really complicated. I looked at the directions. It looks a little, it doesn't look like it's beginner friendly. It kind of looks intermediate, but this is a really great hobby to like sit down. I was like, here's what I'm gonna do is one afternoon, I'm gonna make myself tea. I'm going to sit down here in my hobby room. I'm going to take the directions out. I'm going to slow down and I'm going to read the directions word for word and I'm going to follow it and I'm going to make this blanket. I'm not going to rush. I'm not going to, if I mess up, I'll restart again. I'm not going to put a lot of pressure on myself. I'm just going to have fun and I want to be mindful and I want to experience this fully. And so, yeah, that's my plan when I dive into this. There's something magical and something really unique about creating something from your hands and then having this craft that you can share with your loved ones. I think it's a sense of being proud. You're proud of like your accomplishment. So yeah, handcrafting is my second favorite slow living hobby. I also want to try air dried clay. Air dried clay is very popular, and so I want to try that, and I want to try and make some trinkets, something cute. I don't know. I'm gonna go on Pinterest and see what people are making and then maybe, try. So I am excited to try this bath bomb kit out. And like I said, I got this at Target. This is a great slow living hobby to get into. Last but not least, our last slow living hobby is mindful walks. That was a mouthful. There's nothing better than taking the time, carving out time to go on a mindful walk. So maybe that would be a trail behind your house or your apartment, or maybe that'll be a hike up a mountain, or maybe you go to your local park and walk around and, walk by a lake or in the trees, or just, being outside and outdoors. There's nothing better than being in nature and just being fully present in nature and listening to the birds chirp and feeling the wind on your skin and breathing in the fresh air and feeling the sun on your skin. I do enjoy a good, a good walk, and the walk doesn't have to be really long. It can be a 15-minute walk. It can be a 20-minute walk. It can be an hour walk. It can be a 5-minute walk. But just getting out in nature and enjoying everything that comes along with nature, there's nothing better. So this is a great slow living hobby to start. So these 5 hobbies are a little escape from the chaos of every day. And let me know in the comments if you plan on pursuing any of these slow living hobbies, or maybe you are doing some of these slow living hobbies, or maybe you're new and never heard of these slow living hobbies, or maybe you are advanced in all of these slow living hobbies. I'd love to hear about your journeys with slow living hobbies. So thanks.